Okay, Amon, we're gonna go ahead and start.
Are we still waiting for Sue or?
I mean, I don't know how long we plan to wait if we don't go ahead. She was on the road, so if you are able to lead it.
Sure. I'd like to call to order the October 26th, 2021 Richmond Sanitary District Board of Commissioners meeting. The first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from October 12th and 19th, 2021.
I'd like to make a motion to approve minutes as presented from October 12th and 19th, 2021.
Okay, and I will second. There's been a motion and a second for the approval of minutes from October 12th and 19th, 2021. Are there any other questions or comments? If not, Jess, could you call the roll?
Greg,
Aye.
Amon,
Aye.
2
That's
in favor, 0 opposed.
motion's approved. Thank you. Second item is the approval of invoices from check dates October 8 and 15, 2021.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the invoices for check date on October 8th and 15th, 2021, totaling $626,601.02. We did have some significant invoices in payments to Commonwealth Engineers, 4 payments, I guess 4 different accounts. First, $48,186.75, $19,578, $13,885.04, and $18,062.25. Also from McAllister Machinery, there were 2 payments, one for $220,145 and $129,745. And also payment to Richmond Power Light for $40,986.40.
I will second. So there's been a motion and a second for the approval of invoices for check date October 8th and 15th, 2021 in the amount of $626,601.02. If there's no other questions or comments, Jess, would you call the roll?
Greg,
Aye.
Amon,
Aye.
2 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion approved. Next item is director's report.
Yes, Amon, Pat Smoker, he's off today, he's on vacation. He asked me to give the board an update on our 2022 code codification process. You all may know the city has been in process of updating its city code for a little over a year. At this point, draft versions of each chapter has been supplied to the city for review. Chloe Parks of the law department has been assigned to be project manager over this. Chloe recently reached out delivering sanitation its relevant chapters of the city code for review. During the review process, the city is inviting both an individual from the city council and an individual from the sanitary board to sit in on the process. I had reached out to each of you all by email last week on this topic, and Sue volunteered to join for the review, and added her to the correspondence chain. The exact time for this process has not been established. As more information comes, Pat will give you all an update.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Well, I appreciate you filling in, and we'll move on to the next item, which is receiving quotes for 2022 contract lab services.
Looks like the first quote is from Environmental Laboratories Incorporated. They are from Madison, Indiana. there are several items here that are costed out. I would recommend that this be presented to the sanitation management and have them come back with a recommendation. Is that acceptable?
That with Sue being present, will you
I
be?
finally made it in, sorry. My internet wasn't working there at first. Should I step in or should Amon keep going? Does it matter protocol wise? I don't know if AJ's there.
You got me present, you would direct the meeting at this point.
So I should continue, is that what he said?
Yes,
Okay, all right, yes, thanks, Mr. Steens, we will refer that to management for recommendation at a later meeting. Did we just have the one for the contract lab services?
It's like we had another quote. Yeah, 2 quotes.
Okay,
This is from ESG Laboratories, Indianapolis, Indiana. And they basically have the same spreadsheet and everything, prices. You should go ahead.
and so that is all.
For that's the product.
Then we will refer both of those to management for recommendation at a later meeting. The next item of business is to receive quotes for a mini excavator.
First quote is from Coney Equipment Incorporated of Watkins, Ohio. The quote is for $71,705. Looks like they had maybe 2 quotes. That was for a John Deere 50G compact excavator. Their second quote is for a John Deere 60G compact excavator. Their bid is $83,896. They did include a local Indiana business preference form. And that's it.
Okay.
We have, looks like 2 more quotes.
Okay,
Next quote is from Cat Rental of Richmond, Indiana. I believe this is for a Cat 305 CR mini excavator. Their quote is for $75,250. think they only had one quote. Yeah. This quote is from New Holland dealership, Richmond, Indiana. Sure, the name of the excavator. This is for a New Holland. Looks like an E57C. Their price, their bid is $69,092. That's it.
Okay, thank you. And we will refer those to management recommendation at a later meeting. The next item of business is to receive quotes for 40-yard open top containers and 14-yard open top containers.
It's like we have one quote. This is from Pyramid Equipment of Rolling Prairie, Indiana. This is for 40-yard open top containers. The price is $11,630. The next quote is for 14-yard open top containers. Their price is $9,140 each. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. I guess we'll also recommend, pass those along to management for a recommendation at a later meeting. The next item of business, oh, is there anyone there to review any of these quotes? Okay. Then we will move on to the recommendation to enter into the agreement for the Wayne County GIS services. And I believe this is, well, it looks like we've been doing this for quite a number of years.
Yeah, and I would be happy to address that. Within the last few months, county has reached out to me to talk about memorializing the agreement as it relates to GIS services. And years ago, there was an agreement. It's a pretty basic form, and the nature of that relationship has evolved and grown over time. The prior agreement has since expired, and so we got together with all of the representatives from different parties to discuss putting together a new agreement that would be consistent with the practices that are currently acknowledged by all of the parties. And so we have, as parties to the agreement, the county, through the commissioners, the city, through its executive, the mayor, the EDC buying through its president, and then the Richmond Sanitary District, which is represented through the director, Pat Smoker. And so we had some planning sessions, and that resulted in the development of the interlocal agreement that's before you now. Just a couple of the highlights. Each of the different entities would appoint one person to represent them on the executive committee as a result of the GIS relationship, and then each executive committee would appoint one liaison, so it would be a community member that would meet as well. And then there's a director of GIS, which is a relatively new position within the county that would answer to that executive committee. Lastly, there's an additional language change that would reflect that any of the property, whether it's hardware, software, or any other tangible personal property that currently exists, would be owned in equal shares. So each entity would own a 1/4 share, and that would be applicable to any subsequent purchases as well. And the financial contribution for each party hasn't really changed very much over the years, and it would continue to be in the sum of $30,000. So that would be RSD's contribution. And so that's kind of an overview of how we developed this agreement. But all parties were at the table to talk and develop this, and I think RSD representatives are comfortable with this.
Okay, thank you. So I think I understood you say effectively the same amount that we have been paying in the past, but it's just now being updated in the form of this agreement.
Yeah, that's correct. Over a period of years, the nature of the relationship, like I said, evolved and kind of changed the way that all of the decisions were made practically sort of developed on an informal basis. And so we thought probably would be a really good idea to get that on paper so we all know what the rights and responsibilities are.
Would there be any benefit to considering whether a stormwater fund should be used for part of this expense?
I guess I would need to defer to Jeff and maybe Greg. I'm not real sure.
Okay.
As a general rule, it has not been in the past. It's just been paid out of sewer utility funds.
Okay.
President Arn,
Yes, Mr. Steens.
I do have a question for AJ. AJ, did you say it was $30,000?
Less than this, this one. Yes, the version that I'm looking at was 30,000 now, unless the change over time was on page 4.
It's probably what they did.
Oh, well, it's just kind of- Oh, okay, my apologies. I was looking at a current version. It is 56,000, so I appreciate
Okay.
that. $56,250. So there has been some increase, but there really wasn't for a pretty significant period of time. So I think they're kind of just adjusting for inflation for that.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion. I have a dog just met me here.
President Miller,
Yes, Mr. Maxey.
motion for a recommendation to enter into agreement with Wayne County for GIS services as presented.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to enter into the agreement for GIS interlocal agreement as presented. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. The next item of business is a recommendation to enter into the contract with McAllister Machinery for repair of a D6T dozer.
Yes, Madam President, and board members, one of our bulldozers at the landfill, our D6T, has a failed undercarriage system and needs replaced. McAllister Machinery is the dealer who sold us the piece of equipment. And then they also are the service shop for the Caterpillar, equipment. McAllister did come in, estimate the cost of the repair for the D6T dozer. Darren Duncan and myself, he's the landfill manager. We looked over the quote. the estimated quote repair for this service is $46,335.20. It's our recommendation to the board to go into an agreement with McAllister Machinery of Indianapolis, Indiana. As I said, they are the dealership and service center for this capital piece of equipment.
Thank you. Can you tell us about how old this piece of equipment is?
This piece of equipment is about 3 years old. It is used quite a bit, working the trash and the areas of the landfill. So it is used every day. So it's got all. I don't have the hours off the top of my head.
Okay. But not, I guess, unusual or fully unexpected.
No, we try to trade them off before this happens. But this one, we're looking into why it maybe failed. I'm not saying premature, but sooner than what we expect.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, or I'll entertain a motion?
President North,
Yes, Mr. Steens?
make a motion to enter into agreement with McAllister Machinery to repair the D6T dozer for the landfill for a cost not to exceed $46,335.20.
I second.
There's been a motion and second to enter into an agreement with McAllister Machinery for the repair of the Caterpillar D6T dozer at a cost of $46,335.20. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Jess, please call the roll.
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. The next item of business is recommendation to enter into a contract with Interface Logic System for the landfill billing services.
Yes, Madam President, board members, Interface Logic Systems has provided our software and hardware for our billing services at the landfill since before 2014. The equipment we have right now is getting outdated, and it's starting to be phased out. We have had some issues with it, and it is in need of an upgrade. I did have Jason Combs, our IT guy at the sanitation department, look at it with me. Over the last 2 years, we have replaced our inbound and outbound scales. This software and hardware will interface with it. So it is like I said, it's in need of replacement. They did give us a quote. We would be receiving the Scale Q version, which is administrative software, a new computer, keyboard and mouse, new printer, which our printer is in need of repair or replacement. We get some printer paper and an on-site one-day technician coming in and working with us to install and do training. After my recommendation to the board, after Jason Combs and Darren Duncan and I reviewed the quote, it is our recommendation to the board to award this to Interface Logic Services of Columbus, Ohio, in the amount of $10,611.50. Like I said, we have used this company for several years, and they've been very reliable for us. And that's our recommendation.
Thank you. Will you be able to migrate your data over to the new system?
Yes, that's all of our old data will go right into this new system, and we also will be able to manage and administrate this at our facility at the admin building, and it just won't be at the landfill. So we will have secondary backup, and we will be able to work the accounts off-site as well as at the landfill itself.
Okay. Thank you. Any further questions or a motion?
President Miller,
Yes, Mr. Buxton?
motion for recommendation to enter into contract with Interface Logic Systems for landfill billing services as presented.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to enter into a contract with Interface Logic Services for contract work at the landfill as presented. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. The next item of business is, let's get my things going here. Sorry, I'm still having computer issues here. Wastewater permit. And I think that I don't know that we typically have any speak to those, but our next item of business recommendation to approve wastewater residuals permit number R-MILL-2021, 22, 23, 24 for Miller Septic Services expiring 9/1/2024. Anyone have any questions or comments?
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
I second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the wastewater residuals permit number R-MILL-2021, 22, 23, 24 for Miller Septic Services expiring 9/1/2024. Any further questions or comments? If not, Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. That takes us to miscellaneous. Is there any item of business under miscellaneous to be brought before the board today? Hearing none, Jess, will you call the roll?
We still need to do.
I'll make a.
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Jess?
Did we already do that?
I don't think so.
We were waiting for a motion
A
to
motion.
adjourn.
To adjourn, yes. We have a motion.
I made a motion.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to adjourn. Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye,
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
thank you. We are adjourned.